All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things to put money into, and that, yes, absolutely, precious metals, gold and silver. I get a lot of people that come at me, bro, when I talk about gold and silver because they just don't understand how powerful and important it can be as part of, by the way, part of your overall portfolio. In this video, I'm going to share with you several reasons why you should have precious metals in your portfolio, and I'm going to share with you several reasons why I have precious metals in my portfolio. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Paris Clough, and this is Financial Self-Reliance. On this channel, I love helping people manage, protect, and grow their money. And in this video, we're going to talk about precious metals. Precious metals like gold and silver. These are absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing like holding real gold and real silver in your hand. The feeling that you get, it's almost spiritual. It really is. It's just really good. Beyond that, I think some of the most important reasons why gold and silver should be a part of your portfolio is, number one, it's been around for thousands of years. Gold has been used as a medium of exchange for thousands of years. Silver has as well. It's one of those, it's actually what I consider real money. It's God's money. It's the money that was put here on the earth. It comes from the earth. It has value in and of itself, no matter where you go, no matter what country you're in. You can show somebody a real gold coin, a 1 ounce coin or a 1/10 of an ounce coin or whatever denomination you have. You can show that, and no matter where you are in the world, somebody's going to see the value in that, and you're going to be able to exchange. You're not going to have to worry about exchanging dollar bills into the currency or whatever's available in that country. You can literally use the gold you have in the country you're going to and exchange that gold. Now, it's true in our country. It's true in any country in the world. Gold, people recognize that as a store of value. It's a very powerful medium of exchange. So having gold and silver in your portfolio is extremely important. I personally have about 20% of my overall portfolio, my overall net worth is in precious metals, gold and silver. I don't think it's exactly 10% gold and 10% silver, but 20% total in gold and silver. So let me share with you a few of the coins I have. This is a coin that is a 1/10 ounce coin. The reason why I have it as 1/10 of an ounce is because when I go to the grocery store and if I go somewhere and I want to buy some things, I don't want to spend a full ounce because a full ounce is about $2,000, where 1/10 ounce is about $200. Now, I also have 1/4 ounce coins and I have 1/2 ounce coins. So it's good to have different denominations for different transactions so that you really can't make change with gold. But what's cool about silver is that you can maybe make change with silver because one silver coin like this is worth about $25 or $30. And so if you have a 10 ounce silver bar, that's about $250, $300, somewhere in there. Silver bars come in different shapes and sizes. This is another shape and size of a silver bar. And then you can get, if you want to really start buying a lot of silver coins, you can get them in stacks like this, in tubes like this, where they come, where you can buy 20 or 25 of them at a time. Now, I'm going to share with you this one. These two, actually, I shared with you earlier this one, but this one is, these ones in this case are called numismatics, or they're collectibles. They're specially put into a case that allows them to have a little bit more value as a collectible, as a limited edition of some sort or another. And so it's nice to have these collectibles as well. I don't have all collectibles. I have some collectibles, but then I also just have straight coins. Some of these coins are minted straight from the governments that issue those coins, and some of the coins are just silver rounds, just a mint somewhere, just printed an ounce of silver or printed an ounce of gold and put it out there for the world to buy. So one of the major things that really solidified my belief and my desire to continue to collect gold and stack gold and silver came from a book called The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio, where he talks about how world reserve currencies over the last several hundred years have risen and fallen. And every time a world currency rises, they rise on the backs of gold and silver. They don't have a fiat currency quite yet. So gold and silver is the first phase of any world reserve currency. So any major world power that comes to power, they come to power with gold and silver as their backing. Now, right now, China and Russia, a lot of countries are buying up gold like crazy. So it makes you wonder, makes you think what's happening. And those are the major players and the major companies in the BRICS nations that are really fighting against the dollar right now. So one of the big reasons why the dollar is being kind of targeted is because it's the petrodollar. It's the world reserve currency right now. So if you're going to target something, you're going to target the leading thing. But the problem is that in 1971, it came off of the gold standard and it became a fiat currency. Fiat currencies over the history, if you study the history of monetary issues, you'll find that once a currency goes fiat, its life cycle isn't very long after that. In fact, it usually tends to go downward quite quickly after that. So 1971 was about 50 years ago. In the course of human history, 50 years isn't that long. It's not even actually one human lifetime. So to see the world reserve currency, or the dollar, in 2023, which is when I'm recording this video, is already failing. So the BRICS nations are coming together. They're trying to create their own world reserve currency. A lot of those countries in there, if you look at their history, they've been buying gold and silver for a long time, specifically gold. They have tons and tons and tons of it. And so when you have a world reserve currency that comes through the cycles, so the cycles in this book, what Ray Dalio talks about, the changing world order, the first phase is gold and silver is the foundation for establishing a new economy as a world reserve currency comes to power. The second phase is recognizing that it's hard to carry coins around and to lug around 10 ounces of silver, in whatever form it's in, it's heavy. And so what they realize is that they're going to needed to create notes or paper that would be backed by gold and silver, that would represent the gold and silver, that if they exchanged the paper, which was lighter and easier to exchange, they could then go out in the marketplace and use that paper. And then anybody could take that paper to a bank or to a institution, a financial institution, and exchange the paper for actual physical gold that they could then take home and store. So the power of gold and silver has been around for years. There's really no question that gold and silver is powerful. As the phases go on in this phase, I'm not going to get into all the phases, but as the phases go on, one of the phases is that they completely drop gold and silver as a backing for the currency. And that's when I think it becomes, the currency actually loses its value as it becomes a fiat currency. It's backed by nothing. There's really nothing backing it. And that's currency, that's dollars. Real money is gold and silver. Anything that's backed by something that actually has a value in and of itself. For example, if I presented you a $1 bill, the paper that is printed on is not necessarily worth $1. It's not even worth $20 or $100. Whatever the bill is, it might say $100 on there, but the paper itself isn't worth that. So with gold, if I give you an ounce, you know it's worth an ounce. The ounce of gold is worth something. If I give you a half an ounce, that in and of itself has value. That half ounce is valuable in and of itself. It doesn't need somebody to tell you. I mean, you still got to do a little bit of market negotiations to determine the value of what you're going to exchange it for. But people know that a half ounce of gold or an ounce of gold or a tenth of an ounce of gold, there's it in and of itself, it has value and it's willing to be a medium of exchange. And that's, to me, that's what real money is. The dollar bills that we have is fake. It's really not real money. But we, as a country, as a world, we've all agreed that it's something that we could exchange for value. So in that, as long as we all have that same faith and that good faith and we all maintain that agreement, then it's okay. It's going to be good to go. But as soon as somebody says, I don't agree anymore, I don't want to use that as my medium of exchange, I want to use something else, now we're in conflict. Gold will never have that problem. You can't walk up to somebody and say, here's some gold, and they're like, well, I don't think that's worth anything. Well, that's because, well, somebody can say that, of course, but that's because they're an idiot. Another really important thing about gold and silver is that it's a great store of value. What that means is that it will track with inflation. As the dollars continue to erode, the gold will track with that. So if you have $5,000 sitting in a bank account right now, that $5,000 can buy so much goods and services today. In a year, that $5,000 will not be able to buy the same things that it's able to buy today. That's not true with gold. Gold continues to maintain its value. So if I had an ounce of gold today that's worth $2,000, in a year from now, when it's worth $2,500, I'll now be able to use the same ounce of gold to be able to exchange for a $2,500 item, where today I can only exchange it for a $2,000 item. Does that make sense? So if I had $5,000 today and that deflated and I wanted to buy the same thing in a year from now, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, I would have to have $6,000 or $7,000 to be able to buy what $5,000 could buy today. That's not the case with gold. Gold maintains its value, stores its value. Silver does the same thing, maintains its value, stores its value. And so you wouldn't need to have more silver to buy the same thing. You would just have the same silver coin to buy today what it can buy. And then in 3 to 5 years, the same silver coin will be able to buy what it can buy at that time. If that makes sense. So if you're going to have money sitting in a bank account earning basically nothing in interest, it's better served to take that money and go buy some gold and buy some silver with it. There's going to be a place for it, and you're going to be grateful that you had it. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I've recently begun to work with a company called ITM Trading. If you ever wondered why gold and silver was important, and this video kind of got you started, maybe gave you a little bit of a taste of why it's important, I promise you, if you call ITM Trading, they are going to make sure you understand exactly why gold and silver are important. I recently had a friend of mine call me and tell me that they had been laid off from their job, and their money in their 401k was not doing very well because the stock market's not doing very well. Well, they rolled their money out of the stock market into gold and silver. That for all the 401k value, they put it into gold and silver. And they've told me that they're super excited because they finally are seeing growth in their portfolio. The value of their money is increasing, where when it was in the stock market, it wasn't doing that. So there's a time and place for gold and silver. And I promise you, a percentage of your portfolio can be gold and silver, and absolutely do you a great service because you have that in your portfolio. So if you want to know more and get a deep dive into gold and silver from professionals, these are the guys to talk to. So I would call this number 866-257-2895, or click the link in the description below for ITM Trading to schedule your free strategy session. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation. They're going to share with you the reasons why you should have gold and silver in your portfolio better than I can do. And they're going to take the time to make sure that you understand. They're going to answer your specific questions about why gold and silver. They're going to answer your specific questions about why you should have gold and silver and how much you should have. They're going to tell you whether it should be 10 or 20 or 30 or more % of your portfolio in gold and silver based on your particular goals and your financial goals. I personally love gold and silver. I know a lot about it, but I'm not a professional broker about gold and silver. These guys are the professionals. These guys are subject matter experts on it, and they're going to be able to help you do that. So schedule your free strategy session. Click the link in the below. Call that number 866-257-2895 and spend a few minutes with them talking to them about why you should have gold and silver in your portfolio. I hope that you got a lot out of this video. I hope that you realize how powerful gold and silver can be. You can check out my last video here. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel up here, and check out this video that YouTube thinks you might like. Have a fantastic day.